Okay, so I had to look at the question 3 from set 2. I believe you can do part I, but if not, let me know. I'll do I. So I think in this question, okay, I had a look at it on my phone, so you had function of the equation of the function was a sine of ax minus b, and then you had a sketch of the graph of the function, and you know that the p, q, r are the points, the three roots over here, and you also know that p is pi over 10, q is 3 pi over 5, and r is 11 pi over 10. Well, the x coordinates are these. And then you are asked to find the values of a and b. So the first thing, a is pretty easy if you realize that what has this got to do with the sine graph? Well, the sine graph, if you haven't transformed it at all, you've got 180 degrees, which is pi here, and 360 degrees, which is 2 pi. So the width of a hill or the trough is always 180 degrees, so pi apart. So let's inspect whether it is the case in our question. So this here is 6 pi over 10, so they are actually 5 pi over 10 apart, which is pi over 2. So normally it's pi, here it's pi over 2, so the graph has been squashed, okay? Factor 2, so it's been divided by 2. So remember, opposite in the bracket, opposite happens, so you definitely have the value of a. It has to be 2x minus b. So now you know that we are dealing with sine equals to 2x minus b. So a is equal to 2. Okay, so how are we going to go ahead and find the value of b? Well, these points over here on the normal sine graph, these are the roots where the graph is equal to 0. So are here. So if we realize that our values of pi over 10, 3 pi over 5, 11 pi over 10 are the solutions to the equation y equals 0. Okay, the solutions are pi over 10, 3 pi over 5, and then 11 pi over 10. We only need one solution in this question. So, but what has been solved? Well, sine 2x minus b equals to 0. Now imagine if you were to solve it, you'll be doing 2x minus b, and you would list those roots, those values of where intersection where this graph crosses. So it would be 0, pi, 2 pi. Well, we actually can work out what b is from the first value. So you'll be solving 2x minus b is equal to 0, and you know the solution to this. It was x equals pi over 10, because that would have generated the first solution, because it came from the first solution, which was 0. So if you put 2 times pi over 10 minus b is equal to 0, you could see that b is equal to 2 pi over 10, which is pi over 5. So I've got the value of b. Let me just check whether I'm right. Let's just check what would be if I made it equal to pi. So 2x minus b is equal to pi. This must have come from the second value, so from pi. So if I make 2x equal to pi, second solution, apologies, I was looking at the wrong graph. It's 3 pi over 5. I'm just getting the wrong one. So it's 2 times 3 pi over 5, which is b is going to be equal to 6 pi over 5 minus pi, and that is the same answer. Okay, so let's just triple check it. Do I get the same value if I'm going, imagine solving this equal to 2 pi, and the solution to that, if I knew what b was, would have been 11 pi over 10. So 2x minus b is equal to 2 pi. Will I get the solution, the same solution? You don't need to do it that many times, but just to confirm it. So 2 times 11 pi over 10 minus b is equal to 2 pi. So this is 22 pi over 10 minus 2 pi. That's what my b is. Let's just check. So this would be 20 pi over 10, which is, so b is equal to 2 pi over 10, which is pi over 5. So I hope that helps.